Welcome back to March Madness Analysis. Today is Monday, December the 28th. Another exciting week of college basketball has passed us. Today, another Monday edition of our weekly rankings. But before we get into the rankings, I would like to mention that the 100 subscriber giveaway is coming quick. We might not even make it the next week before we hit 100 subscribers. So if you are not yet subscribed, do so now and don't miss out on the giveaway. I did notice that about 89% of our viewers are not yet subscribed, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be ready for the 100 subscriber giveaway coming to you soon. So now let's get into the rankings. Gonzaga, Baylor, Kansas. We are in agreement, 1, 2, 3. Villanova and Houston, we just had flip-flopped. I have Houston at 4 because they are undefeated, and they do have some semi-quality wins over a pretty good UCF team and Texas Tech, obviously. Villanova has a pretty bad loss, in my opinion. I'm still not too high on Virginia Tech. So I'm going to keep them at 5 because they have been playing well as of recently. Texas dropped a little bit in the AP. I don't think they should. Their one loss is to Villanova, who in the AP is number 4 in the country. So I'm going to keep Texas right behind Villanova at 6. Wisconsin has been playing well, just beat Michigan State. They're going to bump up to 7 in my pool. And Tennessee is up at 7 in the AP. I have Tennessee at 8, and that's just because they really haven't played anyone yet. They beat a pretty good Colorado team, but they're about to make some noise in the SEC with a couple of big games, so we'll see how they do against some better competition. West Virginia at 9, we're in agreement. Creighton and Iowa just had them flip-flopped. Iowa dropped a little more because of the loss to Northwestern, who was a bottom half Big Ten team. So Iowa's going to get punished a little bit for that. They have 2 losses. Creighton, on the other hand, has been playing well. They've proven me wrong. I actually thought Creighton would be kind of a disappointing team this year, but they've been playing well. Just won a couple big games, tight games, but they're worthy of the top 10 in my opinion. We are in agreement with Missouri at 12. AP has Texas Tech at 13. I have Texas Tech at 24. They've been tested 3 times now. They beat a very good Oklahoma team, so I gave them some credit for that, but they're still 1 out of 3. They still got killed by Houston, and they also lost to Kansas, which was a good game, but I'm not going to give them too much respect to start the year. They haven't showed me a whole lot. They've played well in spurts, but I don't know that they're qualified for a top 15 spot yet. Rutgers at 14. I have Rutgers at 13, so we're in the same area there. Same with, Florida State actually jumped up a little bit further in my rankings. Florida State's 18 in the AP. I have them at 14. Their one loss to UCF, kind of a fluke game. UCF kind of made some noise. They're not a bad team. They are in my top 40, I would say. So I did have to punish them a little bit, but not nearly as much as the AP. And another thing, teams ahead of them lost, so that's why they're kind of a little bit higher. Xavier, I have them at 15. Xavier's not ranked in the AP, which is surprising to me because they beat good teams. They beat an underrated Bradley team. They beat Cincinnati. They beat a pretty solid Marquette team. They have another quality win. Can't think of it off the top of my head. But their only loss is at Creighton by, I think, 5 points. So I don't understand why you would punish Xavier that much. Might have them a little bit high, but it's certainly in the top 25. We both brought Northwestern and Minnesota into the rankings after a terrific week. Northwestern 16 in my pool. AP has Northwestern at 19. I have Minnesota at 21. AP has Minnesota at 22. So I'm a little bit higher on those two. And generally, I would say that those were fluke games, and teams like Virginia Tech, who kind of went in and out of the rankings for me, they had a fluke game over Villanova. So I think for a team to be qualified for a top 25 spot is they need to be consistently playing well. And Northwestern has 3 very good wins, and I believe Minnesota just has 2. So still a little bit skeptical of both of those teams, but they're playing fantastic right now, and they're worthy of a top 25 spot. Michigan State at 17. We're in agreement with Michigan State. Michigan is a little bit higher in the AP, but we're in the same area. I have Virginia at 19. Virginia dropped the whole way down to 23 in the AP. I kind of kept Virginia still a little bit higher because they lost to the best team in the country. They played terrible, lost by a lot, but I'm still going to give them some respect. Duke is at 20 in the AP, surprisingly high. You could argue that Duke should be out of the top 25, but I'll keep them at 25. They still don't have that quality win. Let's see. Clemson, I kept in my top 25. Clemson's not in the top 25 in the AP. Clemson has a bunch of semi-quality wins, and their only losses to a pretty solid team. So I'm going to still give Clemson enough respect. Same with Louisville. I'm going to give them some respect. They're still in my top 25. Oregon jumped into my top 25. They need to start winning some big games, though. They need to play well in a down Pac-12 this year. Virginia Tech is ranked. Ohio State is ranked. I don't understand why Ohio State is ranked. They really have one semi-quality win over a kind of overrated UCLA team. And 2 losses now, both to kind of bad teams. So, I guess you could say Northwestern's a good team now, but they were both bottom half. Northwestern was a bottom half Big Ten team. So another group of teams that were in consideration, Illinois just missed the cut. Still don't understand why a lot of you have Illinois in the rankings. 3 losses, half of a quality win against Duke. I think Duke's a little bit overrated, but a 2-point win over Ohio. So I think they will jump into the top 25, but they haven't proven it yet. So Illinois is staying outside my rankings for now. NC State's playing well, big win over North Carolina. Arkansas undefeated, playing well. San Diego State, just one bad loss that knocks them out, but they still have some quality wins, still in consideration. Same with St. Louis. UConn has 1 loss to Creighton, I believe, so they're certainly in consideration. Florida with 1 loss, LSU with 1 loss, in consideration. Virginia Tech with 1 loss. BYU has beaten some quality teams, and obviously North Carolina, who has just a couple semi-quality wins and a couple bad losses. North Carolina is going to finish out my Power 36. And then from about 14 to 40, it's very, very tight. And you're going to get into some better competition as we get into conference play. Some teams are going to stick out. Some teams are going to be disappointing. For example, Michigan and Tennessee. Michigan really hasn't had that signature win yet. They've beaten Nebraska, Penn State, UCF, but they really need to play well in the Big Ten. If they do, I think they could be in the top 15, maybe even push the top 10, depending on how well they play. Tennessee is already at 8. They really don't have that signature win yet. They beat Colorado, who's a good team, but they're going to play some better competition in the SEC, so we'll have to wait and see how Tennessee responds to playing some better teams. Let's get into some fan questions. Graham Butterfield says, happy to see Minnesota and Northwestern in your rankings. Well, they've certainly deserved it. Northwestern having 3 quality wins against at Indiana. They've beaten Ohio State and Michigan State, so they've certainly deserved it. Same with Minnesota, beating St. Louis and number 4 Iowa. So they need to continue to play well and stay in the top 25. Nathan McSmith says, where's Illinois? Well, I've already mentioned Illinois. I actually have them at 26, which you could even argue that that's too high for the level that they've played at. They beat Duke at Duke, but Duke, they didn't have any fans. I think Duke's overrated. They're a young team. So I'm not sold on Illinois just yet. Tyler Billadu says, Michigan needs to be higher. Well, Michigan is at 18 and 16 in the AP. Michigan hasn't played anyone. They've beaten Nebraska, UCF, Penn State, which they should have. So they're undefeated, but they need some more quality wins. They get some quality wins, I think they're pushing for a top 10 spot. Jackson Nikodim says, why is Xavier at 15 after losing? Well, I've already mentioned Xavier. Xavier has some quality wins. They only have 1 loss. I believe they're 8-1, 9-1, something like that. And they lost to 11th ranked Creighton. So Creighton's a good team, and I was at Creighton. They only lost by 5. So I think they're playing great basketball right now. They've got some underrated players on that team, so that is why I'm keeping Xavier at 15. So that is my rankings for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for the 100 subscriber giveaway. Follow March Madness Analysis on Instagram. for the best updates, live updates, rankings, the best stuff you can find on Instagram. So I will see you next year.